conversation in there, claiming the host.
Sue made me host, so I was like, all right, I'll step up. Where's everybody calling in from?
I love it. Um, all right, let's try this again. Hopefully, I've reset everything. Apparently, we talk about wealth, and Catherine and I have had this experience. We blow up the internet, so it's fine. We're just uh we're just doing it. So let's the wheel of names. I might it seems to be what it's not loving. So I might okay, let's we'll share. If it doesn't work right away, I'll just tell you who wins when it lands in there. Um, Here we go. Welcome. Thank you for your patience. Those that came in a little bit later, my internet decided to drop as we were finding a winner for yesterday's 4-week alignment classes that I will be aligned living series that I'm doing in May. So we will see who the winner of that is here. I know you might not see the screen, so if you don't, all good. Lee's the winner there. So congrats, Lee. I will follow up with you on both of the things there. So it's just because you claimed house and it decided the universe was like, yes, you get a little extra bonus this week. Okay, so let's drop in today. We are going to start if my screen can come off of the wheel. All I see is the wheel. Okay. Now I'm back to you, beautiful goddesses. So, um, I just wanted to start today beginning with taking a moment to bow to the like goddess within each of you, to the divine all around us, and really to that like sacred fire that was ignited that like brought us here, that brought me to offering this. And so I just wanted to really say a thank you to each of you for saying yes, for showing up, for opening your heart, for trusting me to hold this container and trusting yourself to be held within it. And this journey wasn't just a free challenge. Like I didn't know exactly how it would turn out, but it became this massive portal of like remembering and returning the messages I've gotten on like things that are opening for everyone. I just love it. And so I'm also taking this moment to thank the divine for guiding me to offer this work. And it really didn't, it came from such a different place. It didn't come from that strategy or planning. So it was really that like feminine flow in action. You could see it be in action. And it came from me trusting and listening. And so I love that's how this went today because it was really like, here's how you can be in your feminine flow. You can see it in action. And sometimes your internet goes down and you just flow with it. Um, and I also want to take a moment to celebrate. So to celebrate you for moving through what might have felt tender this week or confronting or activating, or just like this openness of like, oh, okay, this is a different space, right? And I'm taking a moment to celebrate me too for rising into this in a different way, in a very vulnerable way, which I have not taught from before in the past, or not taught quite like this before in the past. And really celebrating those of us that have come together, this sisterhood, and the way we're rewriting the story together and rising up and holding each other higher. I just love that as well. And so I really wanted to say, because as we're doing this work and we're reclaiming our womb, we're activating our voice, we're opening to wealth, we're living in our rhythm, we're receiving our worth. It's not always easy. It's not always understood by others. There's people who say this path is too soft, this path is too slow, this path is too strange, it's too spiritual. It's even those within your spiritual communities might be like, oh, like that's just too easy, I've heard before too. I'm like, well, we're supposed to be in ease and flow, so it's not too easy. But you know the truth deep inside, you know if this resonates with you, and you're not here to follow rules that were never made for you. You're here to trust yourself, to know yourself, to be the feminine flow. And so I want you to take a moment right now and just place your hand on your heart, both hands on your heart, and just say, I'm proud of myself. I'm walking in my rhythm. I'm returning to the truth of who I am. I am a beautiful goddess. And just take a moment to celebrate you. We don't celebrate ourselves enough. And just take a breath into that celebration. And so thank you again so much for walking this path with me. And let's begin our final day together, and really rise into this bliss and really what y'all came here for, rise into that wealth. So today it is about rising today. It's really about releasing this matrix around us. And I'll go into that in the teaching part about this matrix. Really remembering who we were before the world told us to hustle and be worthy. Really reclaiming our bliss body today, which for those Ayurvedic practitioners in here or anyone who has any Ayurvedic background or studies, can be yoga as well. It's the Ananda Maya Kosha, right? So it's that soft power, feminine wealth frequency in there. And so let's open our candles to open our candles today. Let's light our candles to open the portal today. So if you want to pop off mute, let's see. So today you say your name and let's say something that brings you bliss. And again, if you don't want to bring your voice in, you can always put it in the chat so that we can still recognize you as well. And so I am Marnie, and being in nature brings me bliss. Go ahead, Catherine. Yeah, just pop off of mute.
There we go. I'm Catherine Ellie Grace, and having coffee on my balcony with the gorgeous view is my bliss every day.
Beautiful.
I'm Lee, and authentic connection, whether it's with humans or furry loved ones, brings me bliss.
With one joining you on your lap today.
It's Jasmine. She's here for the goddess energy.
Oh, I love it. Hi, Jasmine.
I'm Terry, and I mean, just being outside, I know you said it already, but listening to the birds sing, my puppy dogs, and my grandbabies bring
Mm,
me bliss and joy.
beautiful. Thank you, Terry.
I'm Sherry, and I'm feeling a similar vibe as Lee with this little doggy jumping on my lap. Connection brings me bliss.
Beautiful.
I'm Elle, and working with plant allies that are new to me bring me bliss.
Beautiful. Thank you.
My name's Christine, and being outside brings me bliss. Whatever it is, like exercise, just in the garden, whatever.
Hi, I am Tina, not Cheryl. It's my friend Zoom.
Beautiful.
I use it for my business, and I keep forgetting to switch it. Mine is communion, whether it be with nature, with other people. It's really connecting on a level of union with.
Beautiful. I love that. Sharon, do you want to even just pop in the chat at all what brings you bliss? Because I know you have some voice stuff going on. If you want to, no pressure, but we are here to recognize your bliss. And we can see common themes there, really like that nature and connection to humans and animals, right? It's a common thread through all of us for sure. Perfect, Catherine. We hope to see you back soon. And that's okay. All good, Sharon. We were just saying as we pop in today, what brings us bliss? What brings us into that like bliss feeling at all? And So while Sharon is potentially typing that, we will pull out our Faces of Oshun. So using our beautiful, I'm in Oshun energy today, a lot of like golds. I'm wearing my a retreat I was on, one of the leaders. She makes beautiful skirts and dresses out of old saris. She goes to India and gets old saris. And so I decided I'm gonna pull that out, as I was telling you guys yesterday, like don't save the stuff and have the flow. I was like, right, I have my sari skirts. And so I pulled one out today too, because they just feel so beautiful. And gardening. Yeah, Sharon, that's beautiful. So anyone want to be our Oshun leader today and bring in whatever card as we come into our bliss and wealth today? Anyone want to be our stopper? Yeah, Sherry. Beautiful. So come off mute. Let me just clear that energy a little bit. And just give me a sec to ground us into, as we walk this path out of the matrix into bliss and wealth. What does Oshun have to say for us? And Sherry, you can just tell me whenever you're ready when to stop.
Stop.
All right. Okay, you really can't make this. I know I've said this before, like it always shocks me. I don't know. I really need to get over the shock part of the cards. It's the Oshun of the dance, which is literally happiness, bliss, and gratitude. So, that is the card. And I realized this morning I still didn't send the cards yesterday. So what I'm gonna do is attach the card picture, as well as like the main saying of it into the portal for each day. Because now I'm like, oh, that'd be like 4 cards now that I'm posting into days, and it might get confusing. So I will post them into each of the days of the portal instead. But really, this card is either I drew this card yesterday. Did we draw this card yesterday? Yeah. Okay. So I was like, wait a minute. I feel like this is repeating, but that's okay because we're in our bliss today. So she was all about the feminine flow today, and today we're all about the happiness, gratitude, and bliss. And we just really needed that message. She really wanted to be heard again. So let me, with that coming through twice, I'm gonna see if there's something in the guidebook that maybe needs to come through more. So I embrace the joy that fills my life and share it freely. And she's really saying the ever-essence Oshun of the dance swivels her hips into your reading to bathe your life in bliss, glee, and radiant joy. It says, shake what your mama gave you and shake the cobwebs off your life. Release control and be intentional about adding joyful activities to your daily routine. And when you honor your need for expression, when you honor your need for expression and happiness, you allow the divine to work her magic in other areas. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Sherry, for pulling that in for us. So let's get comfortable. We'll go into our opening invocation and land declaration and right into, so you're going to be here for a few more minutes, like a little longer than before, because I really wanted to take us into a deeper vision journey today to really bring us into that bliss feeling. So just make sure you're comfortable. If you want to lie down, lie down. If you don't think you'll fall asleep, and just like roll out your shoulders, give yourself a shake if you need a little shimmy shake, if you need a stretch up, maybe to the side, maybe some shoulder rolls, maybe some neck rolls. And when your body feels ready to just settle in, and then just take a couple breaths and shut down your eyes or take a soft gaze. And today, since we are going to be receiving, we've been receiving all week, but I would like you, if possible, if you don't have a furry one on your lap or you have a space where you can have your palms up and open for receiving while we do this, that would be beautiful as well. And so, as we journey, as we prepare to journey inward, I just invite you to take that deep spiral breath from yesterday. That one that is just flowing gently through you everywhere. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth if that feels comfortable. And really just coming home to your body, coming home to this moment, and come home to the sacred. And just before we really cross this threshold together, I'm just going to pause and acknowledge the land beneath us, the land that holds the memory, the spirit, the rhythm, the land that has never forgotten how to flow. And so I really want to honor the ancestral lands that I'm joining from today and the ancestral lands that you're joining from today, and all those that came before us and all those that'll come after us. May we walk with this reverence. May we remember that the rhythm of the earth is the same rhythm that moves through our wombs, our voices, and our breath. And today we're journeying into the bliss body, into the sacred realm beyond the mind, beyond effort, beyond performance. We journey into the part of us that was never touched by shame, never defined by struggle, never disconnected from source. This is the place where your wealth codes live, where your feminine power softens into magnetism, where you remember who you are without the matrix, without the masks, without the past. So let this next passage be sacred. Let the sound of your breath be your prayer. Let the rhythm of your heart be the drum that calls you home. You are safe. You are held. You are free. And now we begin. Let's place one hand on our womb, one hand on our heart. Really let your spine lengthen, your jaw relax, and your breath soften. One deep breath here, that spiral breath, and really let the outside world dissolve away. Let the noise fall away. Let the past loosen its grip, and let yourself return to the truth beneath all the layers. We begin by imagining ourselves standing barefoot on warm, sacred earth. You're surrounded by golden light, soft, radiant, pulsing like honey on the skin. The sun kisses your cheek. The wind carries the scent of rose and sandalwood. You hear music in the distance, a rhythm older than time, a drumbeat that matches your heartbeat. You are dressed in flowing silk, and golden threads are wrapping around your hips, your wrists, your throat, your heart. You are not just a woman, you are the goddess remembered. In front of you stands a golden temple, shimmering with light, alive with beauty, humming with your truth. You feel called to enter. You see a golden staircase, and with each step upward, something falls away. The pressure to prove, step. The weight of overgiving, next step. The illusion of not enoughness, step. The hustle that never fed your soul. You reached the top. With every step, you became lighter, more you, more free. Inside the temple, you are met by your bliss body, the radiant, magnetic, untamed version of you who has never forgotten your sacred wealth. She is dancing, she is glowing, she is sovereign. She is you, without shame, without contraction, without the past. And she smiles because you've returned. She takes your hands, places them over your heart, then your womb, and she whispers, "You were never meant to survive your life. You were meant to feel it, to dance it, to embody it. Your wealth was never in your hustle. Your magnetism was never in your grind. It has always been in your softness, your pleasure, your breath." Now she leads you to a crystal pool in the center of the temple. As you gaze into the water, you see the full vision of your life, fully activated in your wealth codes. What do you see? What are you wearing? How are you moving? What energy surrounds you? Who are you with? What are you creating, receiving, becoming? What do you feel? Let this vision expand and sit here for a moment. Now let that vision rise like golden smoke from the depths of your womb. It's not a fantasy, it's a frequency, and it's yours. Now your bliss body touches your third eye, your heart, your womb, your throat. You feel golden codes entering you, patterns, symbols, rhythms, sound, light. These are your wealth codes. Allow them in. They are not learned, they are remembered. You don't have to understand them. You only have to receive. Let your body hum. Let your soul remember. Let your nervous system relax in trust. Now whisper softly, "I am the goddess. I am my own bliss. I am the portal of sacred wealth." Let these words ripple across timelines, across lifetimes, into the grid of everything you touch. Let them become you. Whisper them to yourself one more time. I am the goddess. I am my own bliss. I am the portal of sacred wealth. And now you turn around, you thank your bliss body. Give her a hug. Express your gratitude. And she says to you, "I have never left you. I am always with you." With that, you journey back out of the temple, back down the stairs, leaving behind any last pieces that no longer serve you on this journey. You slowly come back into yourself. You begin to return. You wriggle your fingers, you wiggle your toes. You feel the floor beneath you. You bring your breath back into your body, but you leave the matrix behind. You are no longer inside the old story. You are now the bliss body. You are your own liberation. You are the remembrance. You've returned and you are ready. You are the goddess. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes back up. I forgot to push record in all the internet fun. So we're gonna push record now. I will do the same. I will re-record that meditation in case you want to listen to it again after we're done. If there's anyone feeling called to pop off mute and share what came through, I know it can be deeply personal, the vision that might have came through in the water or the feeling that might have came through, any piece. Or in the chat is fine too if you don't want to pop off mute.
Thought it was very interesting that my bliss body seems to be both very young and very old at the same time, which is a very strange thing to witness. And I also found it to be intriguing that the way that they describe wealth has nothing to do with the way that society has structured what wealth looks like.
Thank you, Al. That's beautiful. I love that. I love that you were in the young and the old. It's the middle that's the hard part. Anyone else want to share?
I think the deep remembering and knowing that our bliss body is always with us has been something that even before you used those words today in the meditation, like that was something that was that I've been working with this week. So it's really good to feel into it. Just have it there.
Beautifully. Thank you.
I think when we were in the temple or whatever, I just felt relaxed and open to receiving and thinking it's okay to receive.
Yeah. That's beautiful, Terry. Thank you.
That was a beautiful journey for me. It really truly felt like stepping into a portal. I often will find myself like in my mind more like wondering, oh, where we're going next, where we're going next. But I felt there, like I knew where we were going somehow. Like I know this place and I know what's next. And I wasn't wondering, I was just there. And that walk up the stairs when you were like, let this go and step. And the confidence I felt in that part was just incredible. That's not something that comes my way often. So a little share. There was more so beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry.
I want to thank you because I've been hearing there was a door that I needed to open. And there's an aspect of me that I've seen for many years who had a temple behind her. And I've never been in the temple. And all of a sudden, I realized when we went into the meditation that that was the temple I needed to enter for the first time. So thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful, Tina. Thank you. I'm glad you entered into the temple. Amazing. All right. So we're going to talk into the matrix a little bit. So really about the bliss body and stepping out of the matrix and what that really means. We can feel into that and we can know that, but it also helps when we have that physical description of it, right? So we've said this several times this week, but you're not here to hustle. You're not here to fit in. You're not here to grind your way into the worthiness, right? We're not here to like perform to get our worth. So you're here to remember, having a conversation with Goddess Christine yesterday. Sometimes it does not feel like remembering, but it might be relearning too, right? Like it can be, when we use that word remember, it's like our body might not know it at all. So we might be learning it, but somewhere deep in our codes, there is something there that we can remember too. And to reclaim that sacred blueprint that was never lost. And that's your wealth codes and your unique energetic imprint for like magnetism, abundance, joy, and bliss. And something that I want to really stress here too is that these wealth codes, and like, I can't remember if it was Elle or who said it, but that the wealth didn't look like what the Matrix has told us the wealth looked like, right? That these codes don't live in strategy. Like, yes, we can do strategy, but that's not where that's going to live. They live in sovereignty and not in the performance, but in your presence, in that feminine flow. And you're here to embody the goddess. You wouldn't be on these calls if you didn't have something calling to you that was more than the matrix, right? So to be that woman who leads with soft power, who walks through the world like it is a portal, because it is a portal. And the woman who no longer asks permission to shine and just shines because. And that's it, just because. And so first we have to step out of the matrix though. So how do we do this? Because I've mentioned the matrix a couple times. And when I first learned this, she referenced back the Matrix movie. And I mean, that movie's like 30, I don't even know how old, but old. And I went back and watched it and I was like, okay, I get it. I get where she's kind of referencing it, but it didn't quite sit with me. And then I did deeper work into like the matrix and I was like, it's more like the patriarchy for me anyways, so it might be something different for you. It's more like the patriarchy. It's this construction that has happened, this construction reality. So it is like the Matrix movie, but and it's this reality that we're taught since we're really young, right? So for me, it's really, when I sat into the feminine of this, is it's like your worth is in your productivity, the hustle is holy, rest is weakness, bliss is indulgent, is something I have been told my entire life. And money, this is where a big one was like, I had to do a lot of work on, but that money must be earned through effort, sacrifice, and struggle. That money doesn't grow on trees, right? Like, I don't know how many of us heard that from our parents or our grandparents or whatever. And money actually does grow on trees. It's made out of paper. Like, it's actually all around us. Money's just energetics, right? And so when we can shift this cultural perception, so it can be like we're stepping out of our cultural construct a little bit, and that's why this work is not always the easiest. And I don't want to say that it's super easy either. I don't want this to be like, here's a band-aid, because it's not a band-aid. And anyone who has done any deeper like womb work or feminine work or Ayurvedic work, we know there's a root, right? And so the thing with the matrix is it's not just cultural, it is energetic. It lives in our nervous system. It's like in how we price things, it's in our calendar. It's all of these pieces. It's how we breathe when no one's watching. It's here. But the truth is, you don't have to keep choosing the cage. There is another way. You don't have to choose the matrix. You can choose the way of the feminine. You can choose the way of the bliss. You can choose the way of wealth rooted in pleasure, purpose, and trust instead. So what does this actually look like? Because we can talk about this and you're like, great, and now what? So how do you step out of the matrix? So the way to step out of the matrix is trusting your cycles instead of forcing consistency. It's honoring your pleasure as a wealth portal, not a reward. It's pausing before every yes to ask, is this aligned with my body? And it's letting your soft power be seen, even when the world doesn't understand it. It's allowing your medicine and magic out in every way it wants to come into the world. It's refusing to define success, wealth, happiness by someone else's model. It's stepping out of, well, the Joneses have it, right? It's knowing your magnetism doesn't come from proving, but from presence. So it's doing that work. And that new wealth path doesn't begin with a to-do list. I'm not going to be like, here's your check-off list to do to now be in the wealth, right? It's really beginning with your breath, beginning with that sensation in your body, where we went to in that meditation journey today. And it begins with your bliss body. So it's how can you get into your bliss body more? So the bliss body is not a metaphor. It's actually a layer. So now we're going to go into our bliss body. It's a layer of your being. So in Ayurveda, in yoga philosophy, it's called the Anandamaya kosha. So koshas are like we have 5 koshas in our body system, 5 energetic bodies or that we believe in. So there's like the physical, right? And this is the bliss body. So it's the body of joy, pleasure, divine remembrance. And it's that version of you that exists beyond your story. So beyond your trauma, beyond your task list, it's the part of you that has never forgotten how to receive. So it's never forgotten how to feel. It's never forgotten how to lead from presence. It's never forgotten how to be wealth itself. It is literally just you. And when you're connected to your bliss body, and it is, I don't want to say it's the one running the show, but it's the one that is fully in alignment, maybe. But it's the one that is like, yeah, let's say it's the one that's running the show. So, because it's like the bliss body and the feminine flow happen simultaneously. So time will soften. All of a sudden, you have all the time and more that you need in the world. Inspiration flows without you having to try to fight for it. This was a big one for me. Your nervous system unwinds. So when you start to get into your feminine flow and really connect it into your bliss body, your nervous system gets to take a breath. Your voice drops into the truth. It comes from your womb. Your decisions come from wholeness. They become, full sacred yeses and full hell no's. You became a magnetic to wealth because you are wealth. They just go hand in hand. And so you're like, great, again, kind of abstract thoughts here. So what can we actually do on a daily practice? So it's remembering that what you hold in your mind, right? Those thoughts become things. It's what you're holding in your frequency. So that's why I had us go into a deeper meditation today to really try to get you into that temple, really into that bliss, that goddess feel. But that doesn't have to be the image that comes to you. It's you finding something. So something that lights you up, that brings you into that bliss body. And starting with just like holding it for like 17 seconds. Then you begin to reprogram your field. Can you hold it for longer than 60 seconds, 3 minutes, 11 minutes? And then you begin to magnetize from energy, not effort. So what does this actually look like in practice? So for me, it was like being surrounded by like a field of wild horses. And it was kind of this shocking image that came to me that was like, when I sat with this and like, what is my bliss body? Because I have 3 kids and they bring me bliss, and being outside brings me bliss, and all of these things bring me bliss. But really, the image that I could sit with that had no other layers, because you want to make sure that when you come into this feeling, that there's not another layer on that. There's not a to do with that. So it's not like, you know, gardening. I'm just using Sharon's example of gardening. There might be a feeling of like, oh, but I also have to remember to plant all my seeds, and I have to remember like there might be that feel to it too. So it brings you bliss for sure. So it's not that it doesn't bring you bliss, but as an image here, you want it to be disconnected from any other feelings or emotions. So most of the time it is not going to be our kids, because we have this kind of relationship with our kids, right? Most of the time, it's not going to be our significant other, because we all know that is very much this, where we go through that. Most of the time, it's not even going to be something that we see as part of our identity that we love so wholeheartedly. It's usually going to be something else that maybe we don't experience every day. Like, I don't live on a farm where I can have horses. I don't even live in an area that there are wild horses. And it didn't even have to be wild horses. It was just untamed. Or was that like untamed wild feel for me? And so it's trying to feel into that and what that looks like. So, and the way I did that is I kind of like made a list. I'm like, what brings me bliss? What brings me joy? What do I love? What are parts of my identity that I feel like this is part of me? And then it was like sitting with him and be like, ooh, nope, that has some emotional charge to it. That's not going to be that one. Until I got it narrowed down and then I expanded it. And then I was like, okay, now this is my wild horses. So then you want to just visualize this bliss body every morning and this bliss image and sit with it. If you're really wanting to attract something, so if you're like, I'm launching something today, I'm going to sit in this for a couple minutes. I'm going to just allow this image to be what I meditate on today. It can be you have a physical printed image that you look at. It can be that you go and sit in a field with horses, right? Like that would be the next step if you can actually physically get yourself to what this might be. And then also sitting with your bliss body, inviting her to the table, to the journey, and seeing her dressed in that like Oshun beauty, right? That gold, that silk, that whatever that is for you, and really seeing her free and wild. And so that's how you can really do that and like return to that through the day, like before you make a really important phone call or when you really need to remember who you are. And you can anchor it with the mantra, I am the woman who lives in bliss. I lead from softness and I receive from truth. I'm going to put that in the chat. You can come up with a mantra that like I really struggled when I first started with this kind of work to come up with mantras on my own. So I always loved when someone would give me mantras. And I'm like, perfect, I'm going to use this. And then they've just, as I'm in my bliss body and as I'm in my feminine flow, they've just now flowed. Now I'm like, okay, now I can sit and figure out which one I want. And sometimes I use ones that I've heard as well or seen or that come up in my cards. I often use ones that come up in my cards. And so really bliss in the real world is like, you don't need a mountaintop. You don't need to climb. Again, you don't need to perform to embody your bliss body. So I don't want this to become a checklist thing, right? This just becomes part of your feminine flow. So you do it in your living room. You do it in your voice. You do it in how you get dressed. You do it in how you say no. And every moment you're choosing alignment over performance. You do it. A really great time to do this is for those of you that are in business. If you are pricing something, go into your bliss body first. So go do the meditation first, go sit in the field of wild horses. I would love to sit in a field of wild horses. One day you'll see a picture of me on Instagram in a field of wild horses and be like, oh, look, she's in her bliss body. But like go into that space and then price out your offering. That'll help you be in full alignment with the feminine and full alignment with your bliss and full alignment with the wealth energetics. So every time you soften instead of you push, every time you honor your joy as sacred, that's you leaving the matrix, right? That's you activating your wealth codes. That's you living as a goddess. And I want to stress too, it's not about escaping life. That's not where we're going here. It's about rewriting it and choosing a different path. It's being in your rhythm, in your essence, in your bliss, and really letting your bliss body lead and letting her recalibrate your life and letting her teach you that joy is your magnetism. And this is if I forgot to mention that I do have a podcast called The Sacred Siren Circle as well. You can find it wherever you listen to podcasts, but I talk about the path of the sacred siren, and that's part of my branding is the silent she to the sacred siren. And so this is the path of the sacred siren, and this is where real wealth, whatever that looks like for you, begins, because wealth for all of us is to be able to live this blissful life and having the resources, but it's all just the energetics of it. So we're gonna We're going to do a quick little movement, even though we're running a little bit later just because of the starting kerfuffle. So if you have to leave, this is definitely being recorded if you need to. But if you can, you're in a space where you can move and you can stand up and move. We are going to, and I really want you to focus. This song is a bit more, not, I don't know, I don't want to say charged, but where you can have like really think about like opening your hips, opening your arms, like opening your chest, maybe doing chest circles, or maybe it's just some stillness, because remember that rest is also part of the feminine. So let's make sure you guys can actually hear this. Boop, boop, boop. And the song, this name of this song is Goddess on High. So I thought it was perfect for today. All right. Okay. So anyone that does, I know I saw Christine and Lee both had to drop off, but anyone else that might need to, feel free. So the journal prompts that'll be in the email that go out today with the replay and in the portal, plus the expanded ones in the portal, but it's really like sitting with what is the true wealth. And for those that want to do it right after because you're in there, let me post those into the chat. So what does true wealth feel like in my body? Where have I been living from hustle rather than bliss? What does my life look like when I lead from the feminine? How can I honor my bliss body daily in small ways? And who am I without my old story? What becomes possible then? So our final day of the Soul Work Challenge is posting a photo or sharing a reflection of your bliss body, your vision, or your commitment to living in the flow. Tagging at Sankalpa, and then using, thanks, Sherry. And then using the Wealth Womb Worthiness tag if you need to as well. And so reminder, and today's gift is actually a 90-minute session with me. So it'll be a combo session of everything I do. So whether it is more focused on your health, whether you have questions about business, whether you have, you want some Oracle and Tarot like guidance, or some just a new intuitiveness, or some wealth, womb awakening, whatever you need. It's kind of that combo will be 90 minutes. Is the win today? Is the prize today? There is the gift today. And reminder that if you do all 5 days by Sunday at midnight, I will put all 5 into the replay email today, so that if you haven't done any, you are not behind. You're right on time, and you get entered into the 8-week Wealth Women Worthiness, the scholarship for the full immersion as well. So it has to be just been done by Sunday at midnight, and I will do the draw on Monday. Oh, and you might not have been hearing me really great because my microphone was really far away again. And yeah, so that is that final on that. Reminder, if you do want to join the 8-week, that if you join by 5 o'clock today, Pacific time, that you get an extra soul activation, soul alignment, soul activation card reading with me, as well as a session similar to the one I'm gifting today. So if you want to join the 8-week immersion, or if you want to work one-to-one with mentorship as well, those are both available to you if you're feeling called to go deeper into this work. I would love to have you, for sure. And so you can find those. I will repost. They're all on my website, but I will repost those links in case you want to. So the first link is the 8-week. The second week one is the mentorship, where I work one-to-one on you in business, health, all of it together. Similar to what we did this week, but I just really bring it all together. And if you need to pop off. But anyone who would like a card, I would love to pull a card specifically for you today. So if you want a card, just either raise your hand physically or raise, and you don't have to, if you can't come off mute, Sharon, if you want a card, just leave me a note in the thing and I can do that for you, because I know the voice things. And Cheryl, I saw your hand, and Terry, you want one, and Ellie, you want one too? Okay. Beautiful. So let's start with, I've got Terry first in my one. So Terry, you can come off mute. And if you have a specific question for Goddess Oshun, you can ask that, or we can just do a general, like, what message does Oshun have for you?
That's what message would Oshun have for me today?
Beautiful. Okay, so Terry, give me a sec. Let me clear from us being in there. So give me just a moment. And Terry, when you are ready, you tell me when you're feeling the stop.
Stop.
Okay. I feel like this is, just because I do know some of your story, that this is like so on point for you. It's, hold on, my mic's in a really bad spot. Okay, that should be better. It's because I like to lean forward when I present the card. It's Oshun's honey pot. So it's about sacred pleasure, sensuality, and self-love. So it's all those practices. Do your abhyanga, do your self-love, all the practices in there. It's really, though, coming back into, and I know we've had this talk before, but it's really coming back into your pleasure and what that looks like deeply for you, right? And really reclaiming your woman pleasure here. Because of everything you've been through, I think this is more important than ever now for you. is really being like, what does that sensuality and sexuality now look like for me? And it's her message here in the guidebook is, I honor the sacredness of pleasure and joy as they nourish my soul. So it's really like, yeah, really sit into your desires, but really sit into your sacred pleasure. For sure here, my dear. Good. Any questions on that, or you feel complete with that? Okay. Beautiful. Elle, I have you next up on my screen, so you're welcome to let me clear just beautiful Goddess Terry's energy. And so you can come off mute. And do you have a question for Goddess Oshun, or just whatever message she has for you?
Just a general message.
So just anything for Goddess Elle. And whenever you're feeling the call to say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I actually have never pulled this card. So it's called Oshun Floods. So it's spite, malice, and revenge. But when you look at the card, she's actually in a bit of a protection stance, maybe is the word I want to use there for you. Is that it's really, and I mean, I know nothing of your story, so it's really like whatever darker emotions, whatever darker shadows might be coming through that you may have been processing through, how do you turn these into your healing, into your medicine, into your magic? And she says here in her thing is, I channel my darker emotions into growth and healing. And the other piece of this is really about like emotions and wearing a mask in here too, because when you look at, it's kind of hard to see, but when you look at her face, she's kind of got part of it covered and she's got some, almost looks like makeup on. And so it's really like, are you putting on a mask of your emotions? Are you putting on a mask of like the darker sides of you that you don't want people to see? And are you hiding those and then them coming out in ways you don't necessarily want them from, to like in a revengeful or in a spiteful or something kind of way there? Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, it does. I do also just want to offer some validation in our conversation about bliss body. One of the things I wrote down was somebody who's gleeful about floods.
Oh. Look at that. I love it. I love the synchronicities that happen, or the divine coming through us all.
Yes, thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, Tina, I have you next. And Sharon, I will definitely pull a card for you just before I start, Tina. If you want, if you have a question or if you just want a general, just write, if you do have a question, write the question in the chat. And if you don't, just write general, just so I know when I pull that for you. And Tina, let me just, do you have a question or do you want just a general?
Yes, the question how do I receive all the abundance of my blossoming new relationship?
What a beautiful question. That is definitely Oshun's wheelhouse. Okay, so for Goddess Tina, we are wondering how she can open to receive all of the abundance in her new relationship. I assume this means a romantic relationship? Yeah, okay. In her new romantic relationship. And so you just have to come off mute again to tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Okay. So 2 cards, one was stuck to it. So we're going to call them both, that they were meant to both come for you. So the first one that I saw and I was like, oh, okay, that's potent, is Oshun of envy, jealousy, self-doubt, and inadequacy. So in order to receive, here, I'll leave this so you can actually see it. In order to receive all that abundance, all that love that's coming through in this new romantic relationship, is it starts with you, right? So being sure that you're not allowing, It's coming through as like you're not allowing any past hurts or pains or past trauma, maybe is the word here too, to put you into jealousy or envy and block your your receiving portal from this new romantic relationship. And so making sure that, like, her message here is, I see the beauty in me, right? And so it's really, if you have those emotions coming up at all, it will put a block to receiving that love that might be coming through, or that is coming through. But it's like, why is this coming up? So if you have envy all of a sudden, or you're feeling jealous, or you're feeling mistrust of this relationship, to sit with it and be like, where is this coming from? And just sit with that emotion. Don't ignore it. It won't help it. Or be like, ugh, jealousy, go away. Sit with it, acknowledge it, see it, and then it'll really allow you to process it and move past it and open to the receiving. Because the other card that came through with this is Oshun the Magi, which is all about alchemy, transformation, and change. And so it's all about, looking at a romantic relationship in this, it's all about you being able to take these challenging emotions and transforming them into the world, into, like, she's holding this, like, she's not even really holding, she just has this like energetic ball in front of her. So she's holding this alchemy of change, and she is the alchemy of change, kind of thing. And so you have the power to take anything that is blocking you, any of those darker side emotions, and make them into magic, and make them into this like beautiful blooming abundance that you are looking for in this new relationship here. And her message is really, I transform challenges into opportunities. So does that make sense, Tina? Yeah? Okay. Beautiful. Okay, Sharon, I will just do a general one for you. Let me clear my cards. You could even put stop in the chat, because I love your energetics into there. And if someone else, or can you come off mute? I can't hear you though. Oh, there you are. Okay, so you can just say stop then when you need to, and I will stop.
Stop.
Okay, funny, because that card tried to flip and I went to do it. It was really your message, because I went to try to shuffle again and the card kept trying to flip, and then you said stop. So it is your message for sure. It is Oshun of cosmic surrender. So it is about letting go, acceptance, and detachment. And it's really about, I feel like, I don't know if we pulled this card this week or if I pulled this. I've done so many card pulls this week on my like Instagram live and in our classes that I'm like, I don't know, I'm seeing all the cards all the time now. But this card came through at another spot too. And it is really like, it's about freedom, and it's about, this is like the bliss body. I would say this is like my image of the bliss body in a physical image, where she's like surrounded by golden butterflies, and she's in this white, beautiful, glowing dress, and she's really like free. There's this sense of like openness, because her arms are open wide, her palms are up receiving, and she's like, her heart is up, like her chest spot is up. So it's really about like stepping into that bliss body, stepping into the acceptance, not the acceptance of like bad things, but acceptance of the bliss body. So it'd be like, how can I just have this image coming through of you, Sharon, like and I don't want to say this in this way, but I can't think of a better way to describe it. But you know, in movies when like a spirit takes over the body, it's like that image coming to me, but with the bliss body. So in the most beautiful way, not in the scary, like I'm being possessed kind of way. It's in that like beautiful, how do I merge these two into being this beautiful goddess that I am? So that's kind of the message. Her message in the book is, I trust that I am guided and supported. So stop trying to like control everything, and yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, Sharon. Goddess Catherine, I know you're always up for a card. Do you want a card since you popped back in?
Sorry, my landlord popped over right in the middle.
Of
So,
course. We were talking about wealth. It had to be that timing.
yes, getting
It's
a lot of
funny.
repairs done.
It's funny what comes through when you start working on wealth stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, and I get interrupted here and there. All right, so we're pulling from the Goddess Oshun deck, the Faces of Oshun, and so either if you have a specific card you want to ask for guidance on, or if you just want a general whatever message Oshun has for you, we can do either or.
I'm torn between a message. You know what? I think I want to go with relationship, love relationship. I heard one of the other girls talking about that. So yeah, I would, the other goddesses, excuse me. So yeah, let's see what comes up for that.
Okay, perfect. So is this in the one you've been in for a while? Is this like
I don't have one and haven't had one for a very long time.
You had a boyfriend. Okay. I thought I heard mention a boyfriend on one of our calls. Okay. Okay, so you want to let's get a little clearer then on that one. If you're not in a current relationship, are you wanting guidance because you're wanting to be like magnetizing one into you like a love relationship?
Yes, I have an image. I had a soulmate drawing done, and so I have an image of my divine amour. So,
Okay.
when is that connection going to come into play? And if I'm ready.
So, Goddess Oshun for Goddess Catherine, what advice or what does she need to know in regards to drawing in this soulmate love relationship? So when you feel the call, say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Okay, so you're between two cards, interestingly. But this came up twice because this was Elle's card too, and I've never pulled it before today. And I've been using this deck for like a month now. So this is Oshun Floods, and so I can't remember off the top of my head the message on this guy, but
Floods, Floods?
yeah.
Okay.
And so it's about spite, malice, and revenge. And so when I read it for Elle, I had a slightly different feel. For you, I feel like, hold on a sec. Let me just see what that feels like. For you, it feels more like you need to release whatever in the past in your relationship, whatever spite might have been living in that past relationship, whatever, like that you're not looking to enter into a new love relationship with any kind of revenge feel there too, as like a prove it, like that, look at me, I'm so happy in this, like this relationship now too. So making sure that there's none of that energetics that are still sitting in your periphery anywhere, that if you need to do a healing, divine healing on like get rid of any of this old malice and jealousy and like all of this that might still be just sitting on the outskirts a little bit. So just feel into that a little bit, see if there's any past relationship. It doesn't have to be the longest one either. It could be one that was just brief and you were like, ooh, but like that one touched me in some way, right? So just feel into that.
I know what this is. And what's really interesting, yeah, I divorced my husband of almost 30 years because of his gambling, and it was around finances, and that just popped in, and that was my I don't revenge doesn't come to me, but
that feel.
There's a feel. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So just sit with that, allow that, see it, because like I was saying to Elle, what you have to, and to Tina actually both, that you have to acknowledge the emotion. You have to see it, like you tell us to do in your divine healings, right? That you have to seal it, feel it, to allow it to process out. And so really like whatever might be coming through, and you don't have to understand. It might even be like, I'm just feeling that there might still be some malice there, or revenge. Revenge isn't the right word for you at all there. It is like the malice or the spite there, that if it's still sitting there, you don't even have to name who it's connected to, right? Just, you don't have to go, like you say, don't go into the story. Just allow it to process and go through. The card, though, because I was in between two, was Oshun the Creatrix, Creative Artistic Expression Breakthroughs. And it's like this beautiful colorful card. Oh my gosh, the word there. And that is like really the feel coming from that is like, be in your whole beauty. So be in your like whole self, be in your artistic expression, whatever that looks like. Because it's such a colorful card, I feel like it's like going into, I don't know if you got a chance to watch yesterday's replay, but it is like going into the colors. So don't just wear the like plain colors, bring color into your life. And it says, I honor the sacredness. Nope, that's the honeypot. Haha. Well, you need that message too, but the world needs me to share my gifts. We know that. We've been through this work already.
Yeah.
But that your creative energies are at their peak. So the other piece of this that's coming through is don't go looking for it. Don't go looking for the love. Just be in your joy, be in your magic, and be in your medicine, and bringing your gifts out into the world. And through that, through something, whether it ends up being a client that's working with you or whether it's through one of your goddess connections, there is somebody on the periphery that is coming through your gifts. And that's how you're going to draw them in.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, my dear. All right. So I know we're way over time, and I appreciate you all like sitting with us. And so today it's really about like I'm no longer afraid to rise. I'm no longer afraid to receive. You all received these beautiful card readings, so receive them and like really absorb that and be no longer afraid to like live in your bliss. And so I want to leave you with, you're never meant to fit in. You're born to be free. The codes are already within you, and this portal is open. You've done the work. So now it's up to you to like rise. You haven't, I mean, we've started the work, let's say that. So it's now up to you to rise, step into your goddess power, step into the feminine flow. And so today when we blow out our candles, I really want us to blow it out as the goddess you are and as the bliss body, being the controller of the ship. So just as you blow out your candle, just have that thought, I am the goddess and my bliss body is now in control. And I thank you again for all joining me, especially today's little glitch. And the replays are yours forever. So you are welcome to rewatch those as many times as you want through the portal. I will be only having them in the portal eventually because my drive gets too cluttered then. But for probably the next week, I'll leave them up in the drive and the links in the emails as well. But then it'll only be in the portal with all the other goodness in there. I will put the cards for each day as a group into those. And then if you're going to join us for the 8 weeks, get in. If you're not and want to ever do a card reading, those are up on my site as well. And I would happily dive deeper with the cards with you or any work one-on-one with you. I just love working with women and goddesses. So yeah, amazing. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message anytime to Instagram, Facebook, all of it, or not so much Facebook. Instagram, email are beautiful places where you can just email me anytime you need to.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marnie. So
Well,
nice to meet all of you. Ciao.
Meet y'all too.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.